Um, I had a brief chat with Al Gore a while back, and I told him about World Peace One, and he liked it, and of course he said he was busy with the environmental movement, and I said, great, you handle that one, we'll try to handle this one. But obviously, we include both. You know, an enlightened humanity doesn't do crazy things. We don't hurt each other, we don't destroy our life support systems. And I want to mention that one of my mentors made a statement. We do not break or violate natural laws. When we persist in our folly, they break us. So we can do so much better. And that's partly what we're here for. World Peace One is here to create a platform and a vehicle, and many vehicles perhaps, and events to get the world's attention, engage the world public, hold that attention, and direct that attention to the most important causes and to global problem solving. We have with World Peace One, as I mentioned, the foundation, World Peace One concerts, World Peace One music. We have World Peace One games, which we're very excited about. That's in development now. We have also an International Heart of Peace Award. An internationally renowned artist, Spar Street from Hawaii, created a beautiful heart sculpture. And we intend to confer that award on the Gandhi family and Martin Luther King family and Mother Teresa's people and others, representatives from various parts of the world that deserve that. But we also are wanting to create a mobile peace movement. Nobody's ever done that before. We're going to create a contest called Finding the Face of Peace so that we have a winner in every country around the world every year, and a winner for planet Earth, for the whole world every year, just like a lot of these other sports events or contests. If they can do it with Miss Universe, we can do it also, Finding the Face of Peace. So we have these various components, and there are many more in our planned campaigns, programs, and initiatives. And that includes global branding, creating a global super brand, and a lot of sophisticated marketing and creativity. So in order to do that effectively, we need a really, really strong creative director, and we're very grateful to have found one. His name is Chuck Peil. He's sitting on the end of the table to my far left. And I could tell you about some of the things that Chuck does. He's a vice president of Real Effects, which is a very dynamic company that does great work in media and entertainment. But there are a few things that I'm not supposed to say, so he's better able to tell you what he can say and what I can't. Chuck Peil.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And I'm usually the one that sticks my foot in my mouth. So I'll keep my introduction of myself pretty low key. We started a company 20 years ago called Real Effects, and our purpose of the company is to create animated properties and live action films. And without going into much of the details, I'll tell you a couple of the pieces that are currently out. Rise of the Guardians, which is a DreamWorks animation film, was based upon a story that we created about 15 years ago, and it's now a feature film. It's in theaters right now. And then tomorrow we have something really cool. And what's exciting about this is it's got worldwide appeal, and it's called Cirque du Soleil, Worlds Away, that we produced with James Cameron, and that's in theaters starting tomorrow here domestically. It's already released internationally. The reason I bring those up is that for our company, we've got about 325 people. It's all about ideas and story and narratives, and when you get down to it, I don't care what it is, anything successful has a brand element to it. Something that's a brand. And the brand is critical at the small moves and also the big moves. It only becomes big is if you pay attention to the brand when it's small. So Klaus, I too have a confession. So here's my confession. This feels like we should be in like a little closet or something telling my deep secrets. But when I was approached on World Peace One, I hesitated at first. And the reason I hesitated, because quite honestly, my predisposition, which I think that a lot of people have, is that anything with the word world and peace in the same sentence is predisposed with beatniks, people that don't have a reality-based approach to life, And that is something that is an ism that's overused in the world. And for me, that was at first a block. Okay, but as I realized and started to hear Doug's vision for this and Joel's vision for this and the team, I realized that I was completely flawed in my thinking. And what I found was that there was something not only unique, but incredibly special about World Peace One and the initiatives. And what was important for me to see is that it was founded upon a vision of hope, but also a vision of reality, of what can be accomplished when you pull really great people together for a common vision. And so my knee-jerk reaction was completely inaccurate, and I had to correct myself. And not only did I come around, but I came around full on. And I'm very excited because there's a clarity of vision with this organization, and there's a reality-based mission that you will see as the speakers come up. But most importantly to me, there was this massive passion. Anything that has been accomplished, I don't care how good the idea is, if the passion isn't there, it isn't going to happen. And passion is coming at it when other people say it can't happen. So I'm proud to be part of the World Peace team, and I appreciate your relentless pursuit of me and everybody else up here, Doug. So one of the things that I found is that for us as an organization, there's a long-term sustained initiative. And for me, there's a big idea that I wanted to be sure that what the objectives of World Peace One was not based upon the empty isms that you hear or little false, little catchphrases, but more importantly, that there was substance behind it. Sizzle's great, but you have to have the steak. You have to have the substance of an initiative. And so as I got in and dug in, I realized that not only did they have this as part of the mission, but also in the insight of framing the word of peace, it wasn't empty, but instead, World Peace One and Doug and the team had reframed it to be something of an action item. That peace doesn't need to be passive. It can be actionable. And that's the difference. So an action can be boiled down to several things. And for me in my area, which is branding, I look at it as microtransactions, the small moves that move towards a macro goal. And World Peace One has that. And for me, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are as a person, no matter what your background is, where you come from. Everybody has the ability to contribute to what we feel essential, which is to create and promote the atmosphere of a culture of peace. And that's actionable. That is something that you can actually build upon. It isn't an empty ism. So what defines peace? That was one of the things we asked ourselves. And I mentioned microtransactions, but it's much more than that. Peace takes many forms. There's peace at home, there's peace at work, there's public peace and private peace, and often those are two very different things, whether we like to admit it or not. There's peace that are between people of different culture and different races and different parts of the world, different political backgrounds. There's peace at work. And then there's peace, unfortunately, what we all, I think, felt painfully aware of, which is peace at school, which was so violated this week. And those are microtransactions. Peace isn't about just war versus peace. It starts at home. It starts in relationships. It starts in business. There's a variety of those. That small strokes, when you look back and you look at the tapestry, it's the small pieces of thread that come into focus. And so what we are trying to do is to focus on the foundation of each of those threads to build upon something that hopefully, as we look down 10 years from now and you pull the tapestry, we're going to see some change in the world. So we're very fortunate for us, part of what's central to World Peace One is you've heard, is the music and the concert experience, and that's going to be central to what we are looking at as part of our brand. It'll be elaborated here a bit further with Gabe and the team but not just this team, but also other people that aren't able to be here. We're very fortunate that their experience comes from not only concert promotion and concert creation and music as a whole, incredibly talented people, but also cause-based initiatives like Live Aid. Okay? We've all become accustomed to what that looks like. What is a concert experience that is a cause-based concert experience? What's exciting is that there is room to build upon that. Our initiative as World Peace One is to take that and just drive it and make it something massive and big and immersive. And the public's used to seeing what a cause-based concert is. We're going to take that and push it. And our idea is to move towards fully immersive concert experiences where we are going to incorporate really incredible, talented performers and artists that are dancers and puppeteers and digital projection and bleeding-edge technologies and bleeding-edge strategies to integrate into the concert experience. And why is that important for us? You'll hear me say this throughout, and you can shut me off if I say it too many times, but immersion is when you are completely surrounded and feel like you're part of it. When you go to a movie and you see it just flat, that's one thing. You're experiencing somebody else's story. Our idea of immersion is to pull you in and have you as part of that microtransaction and part of the immersion of our idea of how can you help promote peace. And for the concert experiences, we're going to create that in a really cool way. The experiences themselves, as you see them, will be something like you've never seen before. In short, what we're trying to approach is we're trying to approach this as a 360-degree brand, not only with our concert experiences that are immersive, but also including unique and extreme entertainment experiences, but also developing a culture that can promote the culture of peace. So we're going to carry that through also with cross-platform strategies. So for us, it's not just about the concert, though that's a central part of what we will be doing. And when we're talking concerts, we're talking worldwide integrated concerts, simultaneous concerts. They'll expand on that in a bit. But also including the platforms across every conceivable use of media, online strategies, cell phones, apps, educational outreaches to schools, interaction with, I almost said intervention with government. That makes sense, right? Government intervention will be included. But programming, publishing, et cetera, what we're looking at is we're looking at it as a very strong base. And I'm going to use an ism even though I don't like isms, but the fact is the wider you build the foundation and the base, the taller the building. And so when we look at World Peace One, as we come out as a brand, we're going to be thinking about every conceivable use and awareness of the brand of World Peace One. We think it's critical and it's important. It's got to be transparent. It's got to be cause-based. It's got to hit all the edicts that we know are part of our mission. But more importantly, it's a message. It's not only promoting the entertainment value of World Peace One, but also the message of peace. So we're talking about not only a 360-degree brand that we'll build, and not only a 360-degree immersive experience, but also a 360-degree message of peace, which is tucked in our approach on it. I can finally say also that, you know, for us, as I started, I hesitated early on, but I'm full in. I'm one of those beatniks now, and I'm proud of it. And I look at it because we're approaching it from a professional standpoint. We're approaching this with one initiative. Doug said this is a 10-year plan. When you look at a 10-year plan, you got to look at the 10th year, not the first year. And you got to work backwards. You start with the end in mind. You look at what you want to accomplish and then work backwards. And that's what we're trying to do here is we're looking at what are we going to accomplish in 10 years, and let's imagine that, and let's have that vision and work backwards. And this isn't day one. This started many, many years ago. So the foundation's already been there. This is just another launching point in the process of the evolution of World Peace One. I think we're realistic also what can and can't be done, but we choose to focus on what can be done because often when you focus on what can be done and you put everything at it and you go a little bit ignorantly bliss of what you think can't be done, right. Ultimately those walls fall. And it's only because you go with the idea that nothing is impossible. So what's achievable? It's achievable, and our vision is achievable with a groundswell of microtransactions. The individuals that will make up once the pixel of this tapestry. Right. And it's going to be individuals who are committed to the macro effort, looking 10 years from now, and looking back today, at this day, and saying, I was here. I was here at the Rolling Stone Lounge and Cafe. Hope I said that right. There's a plug. No, I'm just kidding. but that we were here this moment when a bunch of people in the tapestry pulled together and looked at what was possible. So thank you for coming.
Thank you, Chuck. And I have to give a special thank to Joel Mills, because Joel and Chuck have been close friends, and Joel made the introduction. Once he did, Chuck didn't know it at first, but I said, I'm not letting this guy get away. He's way too good. And so is his company, the group genius they have at Real Effects. And you can only imagine how they can help us to tell our story. And at the same time, I have in mind a series of vignettes, short creative pieces and statements, as well as PSA programs that are going to go to theaters throughout the world. We've already talked to people with theaters, thousands of theaters, who said, yes, when you're ready, let us know. We will, put your PSAs out there. So, and we have people looking into that in Europe and South America and Asia also at this time. So we're very grateful, to have Chuck on our team. I should say a little bit about how we go about doing what we're going to do, what we intend to do. And we've mentioned a couple of times World Peace One concerts. You should know what our intention is. We intend to do a World Peace One annual global super concert. And that's every year for at least the next 10 years. And the purpose of the super concerts is actually, number one, to be able to reach the human race en masse on a very large scale. I've been involved, and my team and some of the people I've worked with, some of the other people on our team also, in reaching 600 million, 800 million, a billion, 1.4 billion, even 2.2 billion people with productions and broadcasts. And it's important for you to know. Our lead director is Louis J. Horvitz. Lou was going to be here, but got pulled away because he's shooting the Golden Globes, and when they say they have a big, very big, important meeting, he's got to show up.
Q are ready boxes.
And the Oscar goes to...
Boxes.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
You got it. Slow him. Incredible. Ease back and stay with them. Ready 12. 12. Ready back to 11. 11. Ready 15. 15. Ready 9. Hold 9. 9. Ready 12. 12. Ready 15. 15. Let's see them get that Oscar now. Right up on him. Ready 3. 3.
I know I have a little bit of time,
Stay
so
with the
I'm
previous
rush to say
guys.
everybody.
Get the other nominees.
I won't be mad at you. Tom said, don't forget to thank your wife.
Ready, 11.
I will never forget
11.
to thank my high school sweetheart and the
Ready
mother of my
3.
children.
Who's got her? Who's got her? 9. Ready 9. Ready 11.
I love
11.
you, Sarah. And my
Ready,
my
2.
parents who are here, Shirley and Cuba the first.
Ready 3. 3.
And,
15 has the exit, the 60
and God, I love you. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father God, for putting me through what you put me through, but I'm here and I'm happy.
No. Music. Music.
I just want to, here we go. Okay, the studio, I love you, and Cameron Crowe, and Tom Cruise. I love you, brother. I love you, man.
Ready 11. 11.
Chuck Settles, Keith Butler.
Keep it playing. Ready 3. 3. Keep it playing. Keep it
I
playing.
love you. You did a
Here we
great
go to
job.
6.
We made the movie.
This is to 6.
Everybody involved with the movie. I
Ready
love
12. 12.
you.
Ready 13. 13. Ready 10. 10. Ready 2. 2. Ready 3. 3.
I love you. I love you.
Ready 12. 12. Ready 8. 8. Foreman. Foreman and Ali. 9. Foreman and Ali.
I love you.
Ready 9. 9. Ready 2. 2. Ready 3. 3. Ready 1. 1. Tell me when, Joe. Ready 3. 3. Ready 6. 6. And stand by announce. And announce. Roll away.
Steve Martin, song for Bullock, and a performance by Madonna.
What a fucking opening! Woo! Phenomenal!
He's one of the busiest directors in Hollywood, and I happen to feel personally he is the finest television director in the world. Many other television directors happen to agree with that statement. Paul Flattery is our lead producer. And by the way, Lou and I worked together at Live Aid. That's where I first met Lou. Paul Flattery is a producer we work with who is of some renown. Paul did Live Earth. He produced for Al Gore. And also Live 8 for Bono. And he does often Billboard Awards and MTV Music Awards and the Kids' Choice and Teen Choice and Critics' Choice Awards. And he does, he works on the Dick Clark Rockin' New Year's Eve event in Times Square. And that's what he's doing right now because that's coming up very quickly. We have a couple of other remarkable people in the music field that are on board. One is Rudy Perez, who is the president of World Peace One Music. And Rudy has produced artists like Beyonce and Christina Aguilera and Il Divo, and he's working with Stevie Wonder and now recording Natalie Cole and many, many others. Rudy has been 5 out of 6 years, I think, ASCAP Songwriter of the Year. And he's received the designation as a music producer of the decade, which doesn't get put, designated to many people. And he's recording with Natalie, I think, through today. So he couldn't be here. He's in Miami. Rudy's partner is, and the CEO of World Peace One Music is Hans Reinisch, who was the managing director of EMI Music International, the world's largest independent record label, which I believe has been acquired by Universal Music Group. So we have this extraordinary team. One other individual in that area is Jorge Calandrelli, who is, many people are saying, is perhaps the greatest living contemporary arranger and orchestrator, contemporary music arranger and orchestrator. And he works with Barbra Streisand, Tony Bennett, Josh Groban, Celine Dion, a lot of people. It's a very, very long and distinguished list. And also Paul McCartney, Elton John, Michael Bublé, many others. So this is a very strong team, ladies and gentlemen, and people of the world, because it takes this kind of a team if we're going to grab the world's attention and then sustain it and help drive this process, of moving humanity from a culture of violence to a culture of peace, culture of division to a culture of unity. And in terms of the concerts, we are very engaged right now in efforts. We have Alexander Martins in Portugal, in Lisbon, who has secured a venue for us, and we start with July 26th in Lisbon at Bella Vista Park. It's a 110,000 capacity venue, one of Europe's finest, and we do a good job with the Saturday night. We can do a Friday night and a Sunday night. We can even do other weekends throughout the month of July. We have activities and efforts going on in other locations: South Korea, China, India, Russia, where else? Germany, Brazil, Mexico, certainly the United States here. Our Master Control Center will be here in LA. And it's a good place to do it. There are a lot of celebrities we should be able to lure into the big concert, In addition to that, there are, just so that people are aware, there are about 65 countries that want to host World Peace One concerts that we have been in direct communication with. But we want to do this for 10 years, so we don't have to do them all at once. And so to do this, it requires the kind of team I was talking about, and we have Jan Moxley on board from Hawaii, who is a concert event staging producer, very important with lots of relationships and excellent skills. And in order to execute the concerts and promote the concerts, we need somebody who's a professional from inside the industry. And the one that I found most interesting from our point of view, who is a professional and who cares enough about our cause also, is Gabe Reed here of Gabe Reed Productions. And I would like to turn the microphone over to Gabe. We're very grateful to have Gabe on our team as well.
How I got involved in this is I kind of was on your track. Doug approached me. We met through a mutual friend, and he was telling me about this world peace thing and things like that, and I'm like, oh, you know, that's a bunch of hippie stuff and things like that. But the funny thing is I do shows all over the world, and we just got back from India where Guns N' Roses was playing, and the thing about music is it's like a universal language. It's like we do shows in South America all the time where the majority of people there might speak English but probably don't, but they know every Kiss song or every Motley Crue song or every Led Zeppelin song or whatever it is. And they sing along and they get excited and they chase you back to the hotels and all that sort of stuff. And the more I talked to Doug, the more I realized that there's a great message out there that he is putting forth and the organization is putting out there that can be translated to people all over the world through music. And, you know, even in India this past week or so, as I was there, and I'm thinking, you know, this would be a great place to do one of these world peace concerts that Doug keeps talking about. And, you know, spread a positive message of peace. And of course, you know, it's all too often recently we've seen outbreaks of violence and senseless things going on in the world, and you know, what better message to put out there to young people who go to concerts a lot, and really multi-generations that go to concerts, is, you know, you don't have to have senseless violence. There's a peaceful message that can be, you know, filtered out there. And the thing is you can have politicians and people like that, you know, say that we need to have a more peaceful world, but people are more likely to listen to Paul McCartney or even Axl Rose, you know, get up there and tell them, you know, hey, this is the way things should be, than they are, you know, from, you know, one of our prominent politicians that we always hear from, especially recently. So the thing is I've done concerts. You know, it's not a we know how to mobilize things on an international level, so we're not, what I wanted to bring to World Peace One is sort of like put the rubber to the road, make things happen. Let's make this a reality. Get people on the airplane, let's put them over in South America, let's go to Korea, let's go to China, you know, and put the concerts together and just put the reality into this thing, because I think it's an important cause. And I think it's, if you mix that in with rock and roll, which I think rock and roll is sort of a universal language that, like I said, everyone around the world, even if they speak Portuguese or, you know, Russian or whatever their language is, they all love rock and roll everywhere. It's like amazing. I mean, just a few months ago, we were in Paraguay with another band that I was promoting there, and Paul McCartney was there at the hotel, you know, and he had just gotten off stage, and he was at the hotel, which was very bizarre that we met Paul McCartney there, but he just got off stage playing for 100,000 people who did not speak English. They didn't know any, you know, majority of the country doesn't speak English there, but they knew every one of those Beatles songs. You know, it was just a universal feeling that everyone there was excited to meet him and all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of where I'm coming up from on this thing is, you know, of course there's I love the whole idea of the immersion idea and all that stuff, but, you know, my deal is a rock concert is a basic thing. It's like a real human connection that the performers have with whatever people that they're playing before. And I think that if you mix that element in with a positive world peace message, you know, a comprehensive strategy here, I think you're going to have a really winning strategy that the whole world's going to be excited to see. The whole world might not be that excited about, you know, do good to your fellow man, but they're going to be really excited to see a rock concert. And, if we can mix in there that, maybe you should give peace a chance, as John Lennon used to say, then I think that you're going to have a overwhelming trend in the world where people are going to be excited not only about seeing the concerts, but maybe participating in the 360 approach here of all these other concepts that you're hearing about here on the stage. So anyway, that's sort of where I'm coming from. I think it's going to be a great experience, a great ride. We'll see where it comes out in 10 years from now, but I think it's going to be quite a impact on the world, and we'll see how it goes. With that.
Thank you. Hello. Okay.